Bend are among some of these iconic images that will be appearing on these new signs.
I love that because we're so lucky. Arizona just has so much natural beauty here.
Yes.
Thousands of people are expected to line up in Phoenix for free dental care this week. The 8th annual Arizona Dental Mission of Mercy is Friday and Saturday at the State Fairgrounds. Nearly 1,700 volunteer dentists and hygienists will set up portable dental units inside the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's first come, first serve for treatment, and organizers believe people will start getting in line today.
Help is wanted from you. Boy, yeah, we would all love a high-paying job, right? In just moments here, the career choices, they're going to be taken off in 2020.
Mark your calendars and don't be late. I'm going to get you ready for the holiday season by giving you the shipping deadlines that you need to know about.
Get social and stay connected.
Follow ABC 15 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Well, President Donald Trump is reacting to House Democrats announcing they will move forward with 2 articles of impeachment against him: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress.
These 2 flimsy, pathetic, ridiculous articles of impeachment. This is the lightest impeachment in the history of our country by far.
In the charges, House Democrats say the president, quote, ignored and injured the interests of the nation and betrayed the nation by abusing his high office to enlist a foreign power in corrupting democratic elections. On obstruction of Congress, they say the president, without lawful cause or excuse, rejected every subpoena or request for evidence. The House Judiciary Committee is expected to approve the articles as soon as tomorrow. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he will not set a date for a Senate trial until they reconvene after the holidays.
Well, today the head of the FAA will face questions from the House Transportation Committee about whether the agency is too close to Boeing. Lawmakers plan to ask about Boeing's influence over the Aviation Administration and the pressure put on the agency's safety experts.
3 men are charged for costing cryptocurrency investors more than $700 million in a years-long scam. Federal prosecutors say the men started running a BitClub network in 2014, promising earnings to people who bought shares. Prosecutors say all of the earnings ended up being fake.
And it is official. While you were sleeping, we learned teen climate activist Greta Thunberg is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. The 16-year-old has been traveling around the globe, urging world leaders to take action, all to fight climate change.
With our accident law group traffic maps here, we're zooming to the east side of town. The good thing is both of the issues, one was on I-10, the other on US 60, are clear now. So overall, we're looking at mostly green flows, a little bit of yellow popping up on the 60, also on I-10, right at that interchange, and then before you go around the Broadway curve. If you travel on the 60 and you go westbound from Loop 202 over to I-10, a whopping 23 minutes to go about 19 miles. Really not bad at all. If you're traveling through downtown Phoenix, the 51 looks great. We have all green conditions there. I-17 a little slow as you're approaching the stack, then before you go around the Durango curve. I-10 right now, the thickest stretch is between 59th Avenue all the way through the stack. Then it'll lighten up for you again before you get to the mini stack. But if you travel, let's say between 107th Avenue on over to 16th Street or so, it's going to take you 38 minutes for that desert drive time. So factor that in. You can always use alternates, but at this point you don't need them. We don't have any big delays on I-10. Loop 101 eastbound at 7th Avenue, a small crash there, but right now that desert drive time is normal. If you're traveling between 75th Avenue over to the 51, it's going to take you 30 minutes. So again, factor in that time, or you can drop down and use your surface streets like Union Hills or Bell to get by to save you a little bit of time. But you're also going to want to grab a sweater or a jacket, right, Iris?
Yeah, temperatures are in the 40s here across the Phoenix area this morning. We're talking 40s in most spots, a few 50s though, in spots like Surprise and Peoria. Mesa, good morning. You're also holding on to that 50 degrees too, but in your surrounding areas, we've got temperatures in the 40s. In Gilbert, down all the way to 43 degrees here this morning. So certainly layer up as you start the day. And of course, in northern Arizona, it's much colder with temperatures now down into the teens in Flagstaff. So you'll need those extra layers and heavier layers in spots like Flagstaff, maybe a scarf and a hat too, as we sit at 19 degrees there. It's 24 in Heber. Payson, good morning. You're checking in at 39, and Prescott, you're a couple degrees below freezing now at 30 degrees. Temperatures right now in the mid 40s in Bullhead City and in Lake Havasu. Now we'll start off with cold conditions, some high clouds across the state too, but those clouds will be clearing throughout the day with temperatures ending up a little milder today. We'll reach 70 in Phoenix this afternoon, 66 for a high today at Lake Havasu, 71 in Yuma. Highs reach the mid-50s in Sedona, 50 for Show Low and Flagstaff. You'll end up in the upper 40s today. Our temperatures will be a little bit below above the average high for this time of year. 30-year average is 66. You can expect those upper 60s in most spots. Tempe hits 69, 68 for Mesa, and 70 today in Laveen, 70 in Phoenix as well. Here's how it breaks down by the hour. The warm-up will be a little faster than what we felt the last few days. That means we'll likely be back in the 50s by 8 a.m., mid-50s by 10 o'clock, then into the low 60s by lunchtime. Notice how those clouds are also clearing through the afternoon. So if you got plans to be out and about today, again, you'll need those sunglasses. We'll see some filtered sunshine in the morning with those clouds around, and then more clearing here this afternoon. We'll peak at 70 degrees at around 3 o'clock, then cool back down into the 60s after that, with temperatures overnight back down into the 40s. Futurecasts will show you how quickly those clouds will clear from west to east. We'll see a few thin clouds here moving through at times this evening, but again, mostly clear conditions this evening. Tonight looking clear, and then just some passing clouds tomorrow too. The storm track after this disturbance will mainly stay to our north, and that's where you're going to see a lot of that snow up in states like Utah and even Nevada. Now things will start to change. On Sunday, we do track a disturbance into our state. That will bring some snow showers to northern Arizona, but I think the valley stays dry. We'll see more clouds on Sunday. In fact, those clouds start moving in Saturday night, and Sunday, partly cloudy, cooler too. But again, for now, that 7-day forecast looks rain-free. I'm going to break down that weekend planner for you in just a bit.
Okay, thank you very much, Iris. Well, it's likely you know someone who has dealt with or is dealing with dementia. Maybe someone you love is living with this. A local doctor is going outside the office, showing students what it is like to live with this. Dr. Jillian Hamilton putting students at Metro Tech High School through this exercise here. They each put on dark glasses that distort their vision, thick mittens and headphones, and then they tried doing simple things like buttoning a shirt.
It's like shocking. I didn't know that that's what dementia felt like at all. Experiencing, I feel like I'm more empathetic towards those people.
And Hamilton goes on to say that she's just hoping to inspire more young people to at least think about going into careers where they can help dementia patients.
Well, new this morning, LinkedIn is out with a look at what types of jobs will be most in demand for next year. Cutting edge technology and mental health are the big industries that are emerging. For tech, that means areas like robotics, engineering, data, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence.
Using statistics and, especially statistics that involves heavy duty computing to comb through reams of data and, reach insights that you would not be able to achieve solely on the basis of human intelligence alone.
All right, sounds like something I'm not nearly smart enough to do. And when it comes to mental health, behavioral health technicians are in high demand. These are workers in places like substance abuse treatment centers and YMCAs. This also doesn't require a 4-year college degree. Also coming in 2020, Walmart will start testing out a driverless grocery delivery service. This will start in Houston. The retailer is teaming up with the self-driving company Nuro, which is one of the few companies operating fully driverless vehicles on public roads right now.
Ooh, interesting. Well, do you have some gifts that you need to send in the mail, especially to make it on time for the holiday season? Well, those deadlines are coming up quickly. Deal News did a big roundup for you. For standard shipping, UPS's deadline is this Friday, the 13th. USPS is Saturday, December 14th, and the deadline for FedEx is December 16th. Now, they also put together a big roundup of shipping deadlines for specific stores too. So for example, Shop Disney is December 18th at 3 a.m. You can find a full list at abc15.com/smartshopper, and Amazon Prime. Be sure to check those deadlines too.
Oh, Chelsea, thank you for that reminder. I gotta get to the post office. Hey, still ahead, why some Valley students could be getting some of their money back after paying for classes at one university.
Plus, 'tis the season to get hurt?
What? Sad but true. The top ways you could get injured this holiday season and how to stay safe.
There's the payoff.
All right, let's talk about that most accurate forecast. Temperatures down into the 40s across most of the valley, including at Phoenix Sky Harbor, and we could still dip down a little further. Our sun comes up at 7:22. That's typically around the time that we see the lowest temperature of the day. So I'll keep you posted if we do drop any further. Either way, it's going to be chilly enough for a jacket or a sweater as you step outside, but you may not be wearing it later. Today, we're looking for a high of 70 degrees, a little bit warmer. Plus, we're going to see mostly sunny conditions this afternoon. We'll start the day with clouds, then clearing later on. Tomorrow, a little cooler, 47 for a low, 69 for a high. So by tomorrow, that temperature drops slightly. I do want to point out that, of course, this time of year, as we get these colder mornings, you can expect to see that particle pollution inch up into the moderate range and be trapped right near the surface where we can breathe it in. If you are especially sensitive, then you may want to keep that in mind as you're considering those outdoor strenuous activities. Otherwise, no air quality alerts for us these next few days. Temperatures back into the low 70s Friday. Saturday looks pretty good, mostly sunny. That will be the warmest day of the week. We'll start off the day in the 40s, but just for a few hours. Back in the 50s by 8 a.m. We'll hit that high of 72 on Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then Sunday gets a little cooler. We've got another disturbance heading our way. We'll talk more about that one in just a few minutes.
Here comes ABC 15's Operation Santa Claus.
I'm thankful to everybody that gives this Operation Santa. You are making a difference in people's lives, and I thank everybody that gives.
Well, Pete and his son Joshua, just one of many families who turned to the Southwest Autism Research and Resource Center for help with therapy and information. SARC really is one of 5 great Valley charities, and we're excited that they're going to benefit from Operation Santa Claus. We have several Valley charities that are just part of our Operation Santa Claus this year. You can help them all by donating kids' clothing, toys, and non-perishable food items, and you can also donate money at givetotheclaus.com.
Yeah, they do so much wonderful stuff. Hey, Santa and his elves are not the only ones busy this time of year. So are doctors in the emergency room, and health experts say overindulgence is the most common reason people wind up in the ER during the holidays.
Oftentimes we'll see people develop GI problems. They can also get heart problems and heart failure from taking in too much salt.
Oh, sounds familiar. Kitchen injuries like cuts and burns are also common this time of year, along with breaks and sprains from falling. Doctors also say some people get injured or sick from drinking too much alcohol too. So just remember to pace yourself a little bit.
Yeah, water, that can help, right? Okay, so this is a really great story, something that'll put you in a great mood on a Wednesday. Employees at a real estate firm get a massive surprise just before the holidays. How about some very generous bonuses?
Yeah, so nearly 200 employees will share $10 million. It averages about $50,000 per employee.
St. John Properties making that announcement at their annual holiday party in Baltimore.
Yeah.
The looks on their faces.
Yeah, what a generous boss, right?
Yeah.
No Scrooge there. Hey, next at 6:30, we're getting a better idea of what went down in the weeks leading up to her paid leave. ABC 15 now hearing from the former superintendent of Mesa Public Schools.
Plus, flu season taking a deadly turn here in the Valley. What doctors want all parents and adults around kids to hear this morning after a baby has died.
And I'm showing you this ADOT camera just real fast. Loop 101 eastbound over at 7th Avenue. All the activity has been moved to the HOV lane / left shoulder, but it's going to be slow in the area. I'm going to go over to some desert drive times and an alternate for you.
Just before 6:30 on this Wednesday all noon this morning, a massive amount of student debt being wiped out.
As the University of Phoenix reaches a settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, our Claudia Rubsich is live, and this is all about deceptive advertising.
That's right, Nick and Kaylee, this is a huge deal. According to the FTC, the University of Phoenix aired specific ads that gave a false impressions to students that the university had job opportunities for them with some major companies. We're talking companies like Twitter, Microsoft, Adobe, and Yahoo. I want you to take a look at one of these ads that are included in this settlement. These ran from 2012 until 2014. And according to the FTC, those campaigns primarily targeted minorities, military veterans, and service members. Now, the university isn't admitting any wrongdoing, but it has agreed to a settlement. And that settlement includes $50 million in cash and $141 million to get rid of debt for students who were harmed by these deceptive ads. This is the largest settlement that FTC has ever had with a for-profit school. So who's going to benefit from this ruling? These are students who had debt directly with the university who were enrolled from October of 2012 through December of 2016. The University of Phoenix says it will automatically relieve those balances for the students who are to qualify for that debt relief, and they won't have to take any action themselves. Nick and Kaylee.
All right, Claudia, we appreciate that update. Thank you very much.
All right, let's switch gears, talk about your most accurate forecast. Don't forget that jacket because you are going to need it this morning, Iris.
Yeah, you certainly, I think, will. At least I needed mine. I also needed my car heater on. So if you're Phoenician like me that gets cold with anything below 60 degrees, then I bet you'll need it as temperatures are starting out in the 40s across the Phoenix area. A few spots in the 50s, but most of us kicking off the day in the 40s. We've got some high clouds out there, too. Those high clouds will stick around through the morning, but they'll be quickly clearing out as we go through the day today. By lunchtime, mostly sunny, back into the low 60s. Then I think we reach a high of 70 today. So it's going to be a pretty mild afternoon after this cold start. And over the next few days, temperatures running above normal with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s through Saturday. Saturday looking to be the warmest day of the week with a high of 72 degrees. So start making those outdoor plans, not just today, but even as we start thinking about the weekend. We do have a storm system moving into our state this weekend, though, and that could impact your plans. If those plans include going to the high country, we'll talk about it in just a few minutes. But Chelsea, you've been watching those roads for us here on this Wednesday morning.
Exactly, Iris. And right now we need to talk about Loop 101 in the eastbound direction at 7th Avenue. The HOV lane is blocked for a crash. So if you're traveling eastbound, you're not only going to see delays on the 101, but also I-17 as you're trying to travel southbound and then connect on that ramp. If you go from, let's say, Union Hills and travel eastbound all the way to State Route 51, it's going to take you about 40 minutes to do so. So you need to factor in that time. You can use the surface streets like Union Hills or Bell Road instead. Keep those in your back pocket just in case. I-17, the 51 normal delays as you head into downtown Phoenix. I-10 eastbound, hearing reports of a wreck that just happened at 51st Avenue, so I'll keep you posted on that, but you have a solid line of red through downtown Phoenix there. East Valley, super quiet, no crashes, just our normal breaks on the 60, 101, and I-10 as you make your way closer to the Broadway curve.
Okay, Chelsea, thank you very much. Maricopa County health officials are confirming now the first flu death of the season, which was a baby under 6 months old, meaning the child not even old enough to be vaccinated yet.
It's so rare to see a child under 6 months of age get the flu, the actual flu, and die from it.
It's very important that parents keep babies who are too young to be vaccinated away from people who are sick.
So just to piggyback on that, doctors say parents with newborns need to take precautions, but not live in fear. And they are encouraging adults who are around kids to get a flu shot. Last year, there weren't any child flu deaths in Maricopa County.
New details this morning on a shootout in Phoenix near 75th Avenue in Weldon. Police telling us 2 men got into a fight just before 9 o'clock last night. They say a third man ran toward the fight and shot one of them. The 20-year-old victim was rushed to the hospital in serious condition, and the suspects got away. New details on a shootout where 4 people were killed, one of them a police detective. The mayor of Jersey City thinks the gunman targeted a Jewish grocery store. Investigators say the violence started at a cemetery with 2 men fatally shooting a detective and injuring another officer. Then they drove to a kosher supermarket, opening fire at more officers. The shootout lasted for more than 4 hours before the suspects were killed by police.
There it goes again. As soon as I got back up, all you heard was another hail of gunfire.
So police say 3 people in the supermarket were also killed.
It is 6:34. A high school teacher in Levine arrested, accused of sexual misconduct with a 17-year-old student. Sean Katz has since been fired from Heritage Academy. He was also the school's basketball coach. Police say they started investigating after Katz called the teenager's phone, but her mother answered instead. We do have some new information for you this morning. You're only going to see it here on ABC 15. We are hearing from ousted Mesa Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Ember Conley. Here's ABC 15's Danielle Lerner.
We spoke over the phone. She tells me she has no ill will toward the board and even welcomes an investigation, saying board members are fully aware of everything she did as superintendent. Meantime, we're getting a better idea of what went down in the weeks leading up to Conley's paid leave.
In a letter to the governing board, Conley cites several personal losses and health challenges for her resignation, saying they've pushed her in a direction to embrace every moment with her family and focus on faith. In an official statement to ABC 15, Conley reiterating her need to focus on family and her respect for the district. The response comes as board president Elaine Miner shared new details Tuesday night about the circumstances surrounding Conley's departure.
During the last week of October, some concerns regarding salaries were brought to the attention of a member of the governing board.
She says the district assigned Dr. Conley to paid administrative leave November 18th and initiated an internal audit
to explore, number one, any costs associated with the reorganization of the district's leadership team, and number two, whether compensation increases for members of the superintendent's executive team had all been approved by the board.
Similar concerns were raised in this criminal complaint filed with the Attorney General's office by former board president Ben Smith. It accuses Conley of theft and embezzlement, citing administrative raises and contracts that were drastically higher than what the board previously approved. Conley tells me the feeling of not being a superintendent has been a loss, but says, quote, Mesa is on the brink of greatness, and I have to believe everything we did helped our children.
The governing board is set to review the results of that internal audit soon and says they will take action if needed. Meantime, Conley will receive about $74,000 in severance pay, a far cry from the $500,000 she would have received had she been fired. I'm Danielle Lerner, ABC 15, Arizona.
Danielle, thank you. Today, the city of Tempe wants to hear from you as leaders consider lowering the speed limit in some areas. It's part of the Vision Zero goal to eliminate traffic fatalities and serious injury crashes. Tonight's meeting is at the Tempe Public Library from 5:30 to 7:30. If you can't make it, you'll have another chance to weigh in Saturday morning. Well, having more options to reach 911 if you're in an emergency, Chandler police are now letting people make video calls and start live chats to get help. The calls allow you to send video of a situation so that police can help prioritize the emergency.
Well, are you concerned about all the packages being delivered to your house? Could someone be watching and maybe taking them without you ever knowing? This morning, Joe is reintroducing us to a woman trying to desperately keep her Christmas deliveries safe.
Packages stolen off porches. It happened to Wendy Enos.
It wasn't there.
With 4 or 5 weekly deliveries,
it just drops on in.
Wendy bought this lockbox, bolted it to the wall.
Pretty solid.
And put up a sign instructing package deliveries to go here. Didn't happen.
No matter what I did.
You can't get these people to put the packages in the box.
Yeah. My son said, Mom, you got to make it bigger. So I made it bigger. Still, nothing.
Is it seen as a forbidden mailbox? She made that clear.
You can't miss the signs. They're bold, they're big.
As if they weren't enough, she even added another one.
Please at least put it here. Okay. Well, you're nice about it.
Well, I try.
Yeah. So Wendy let me know. We went to the major deliverers, and good news. UPS says spoke to Wendy's driver, knows to use the box. And Amazon added delivery instructions, which are seen by all drivers. If it doesn't work, like a dog with a bone, Wendy says she'll keep at it, though the next step,
I have no idea,
isn't clear.
You can also just skip delivery and pick up your packages. Need help? Here are the ways to get hold of me. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. You got a problem? Let me know.
Well, new for you this morning, Lyft is out with its list of most popular places here in the Valley.
It's part of the annual Lifty Awards, the most celebrated venue, Talking Stick Resort Arena. The late night neighborhood destination, the Melrose District, which is 7th Avenue between Indian School and Camelback.
And the most celebrated restaurant and bar, it's Clubhouse at Maya in Scottsdale.
Yeah, I don't think I'm cool enough to go there.
Me neither. All right, it is the first ever hands-free, voice-activated personal safety app. Say that 3 times fast, but it is designed to more easily help you if you ever find yourself caught in a situation that's just not safe.
Well, a convicted double killer from Arizona is fighting for his life today in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. Coming up, we'll break down this case and what his attorneys are arguing.
ABC ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
Let's zip on up to Loop 101 eastbound at 7th Avenue, where the HOV lane is still blocked as crews are working to clean up this crash. You're also going to see some of those delays coming from southbound I-17 to connect you onto that ramp onto the 101 there. And those breaks go all the way back to about 75th Avenue. So if you plan to travel in that area, you can drop down and use Union Hills, Bell Road. That could be an option for you. I-17 northbound, once you get closer to New River, we're seeing a small crash there, no change in the flows. No matter how far up you're going on I-17, it actually looks pretty good right now, even if you were leaving early and starting the weekend now. I-17 traveling southbound, just our normal delays. Same story on the 51 as you get closer to the stack and the mini stack respectively. I-10 eastbound, those breaks begin around 107th Avenue. Then they get really thick at 83rd Avenue and stay steady all the way through the stack, lighten up a bit before you get to the mini stack. Because there is a crash at 51st Avenue, that's why you're going to see this big slowdown. I'll show you that desert drive time in just a minute. East Valley overall pretty quiet. I-10 in the westbound direction at Baseline, a small crash there, but aside from that, you're just looking at your normal flows. Mostly green, a little bit yellow, tiny bit of red. This is that desert drive time from the west side of town, 40 minutes to go eastbound on I-10, 75th Ave on over to the mini stack. But let's go ahead and check in with Iris now. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Chelsea. Well, I've been keeping a close eye out for fog. That's been an issue for us the last few days, but this morning, as moisture levels have dropped, not seeing that really being an issue for us in the valley. You'll notice as we look out live with this ADOT camera, the I-10 and the Loop 202, again, this area was looking very foggy at this time yesterday morning. I do still think it's possible we'll see some patchy fog south of the valley where temperatures are going to go a little lower, a little closer to that dew point, but otherwise it's not going to be like what we saw the last few days. And as you look closely off to the east, you're starting to see that glow of the sunrise. We're going to see clouds to start the day, so be on the lookout for what I think is going to be a pretty sunrise. We'll likely see some reddish color in the sky thanks to those clouds. Our sun comes up at 7:22. We typically get the best color just before then, so around 7:15 or so. Be on the lookout for that and send your photos to share at abc15.com. It's 49 degrees now in Phoenix. It's a chilly start to the day, that's for sure. We're down into the low 40s in Gilbert, a little milder though in Apache Junction and in Mesa, upper 40s in Fountain Hills and in Glendale, 47 right now in Goodyear. Good morning to you. Of course, much colder up north where temperatures are down into the teens in Flagstaff and at the Grand Canyon. 20s for Window Rock. Page, you're hovering just above freezing at 33. It's all about perspective though, so a heads up if you're traveling to other parts of the country, look at how much colder it is in other spots. Chicago waking up to 15 degrees. It's 15 degrees below zero in Fargo, North Dakota. So yeah, it is definitely much colder in other spots, but for us, again, off to a chilly to cold start. Certainly enough for a jacket as you step